Do you have unspoken, unwritten contracts with people in your life? Or maybe even groups or the world at large? A lot of us do, especially as women. Men do, kids do, lots of people do. But in this video, I'd like to specifically talk about the ones that plague women. These unspoken contracts that literally draw our life force right out of us. Now, there may be many physical reasons why we have heavy bleeding, uterine fibroids, endometriosis, and all of these second chakra physical ailments. And we definitely need to look at all of those things. Could be food, could be lifestyle, could be a lot of things. But what about the spiritual side? What else is going on? What else is drawing from the parts of us that create life, that can birth children, that have so much energy potential in them that they could be tapped and drawn out of us? And I believe that most of the time it isn't intentional. We can talk about people being parasitic and energy vampires and things like that. I don't mean that. I mean the very roles that we play. We sign an unwritten, unofficial contract with others that we will give our life force to them voluntarily. It's natural, say, when we become a mother, that we want to pour our energy and life force into this child. It could be through simply nurturing and care, or breastfeeding, or bottle feeding, or anything, creating a wonderful environment for the child to grow. So there's a natural flow there, an inborn superhighway. But who else are we channeling this motherly energy into? Colleagues, bosses, romantic partners, parents, family, neighbors, people in the church or organizations that we belong to? Where's the line between simply being a part of a group and sharing in responsibility and contributing, and actually when that institution or person is actually drawing our life force right out of us? We can ask ourselves questions like, does this exhaust me? Does this person exhaust me? We talk about this all the time, right? Every time I'm around this person, I'm so tired. Or, oh, I have to go do this thing. It's so exhausting. What is exhausting us? Right? If we're just doing something we love, it naturally flows in us, out of us. But when it is literally exhausting us, it is drawing our life force out, we have to ask ourselves, is there a contract here? Is there something within me that says I have to do it? I have no choice. I cannot say no. It would be wrong for me to say no. If I said no, they might think I don't love them. If I say no, they might think I'm irresponsible or selfish. This is where we have to look at the details of this unwritten contract. And as a woman, this could manifest through our reproductive organs, swelling and stagnation and fibroids and all kinds of things. And again, I'm not wanting to oversimplify this. We are multidimensional, incredible beings, and there are many, many aspects of our health besides just the spiritual side. But this is important to look at. What about the role of sister, right? Whether or not it's a sister by blood or a friend. Do we feel obligated? Do we have an unwritten contract that we have to be everybody's friend? That everybody has to like us? That we always have to be there? We always have to be available? And if we aren't, does the contract tell us that we're selfish? That we're unkind? That we aren't a good friend? And again, the question is, am I allowed to say no if someone calls? Am I allowed to stop a conversation that I don't want to have? Am I allowed to not feel obligated to be someone's never-ending counselor? Am I allowed to stop the outflow of my life force into this other person? Because the reality is, they have their own well for life force. Why are they drawing on yours? What about the contract of being the perfect daughter? And I don't mean just with our own parents. We can look at that dynamic, right? Being the daughter that's always kind and always peaceful and always helps out no matter what. Do you have this dynamic at work? Do you have this dynamic in organizations? That you always have to be the busy little beaver that's always there and never tires and is always there for everybody? And the last contract I'd love to share or talk about is the peacekeeper. In many ways, the feminine's wiring is to hold the web of the village, to feel empathically what's going on in everyone in the village. This can apply to family. It can apply to our relationships, which is why very often our menstrual cycles will tell us that something is very wrong in the dark days before we bleed. It's by design. And so this contract to always be aware of everything going on around us, to always be empathically open to everyone, everywhere, and really deeply care. This is a contract that's very dangerous in the world, especially when the wisdom of the feminine isn't honored in that space. If people are seeking this empathic, web-like understanding of the relationships, then they will ask, you will share, action will be taken, and the circle will be complete. But very often, if you have this contract of peacekeeper, if you're at work and there's an issue in the group or in the hierarchy, you will have this unending stress that you feel you have to solve it and you have no choice. You cannot look away. Or maybe you feel it in your family that you have to keep the peace or else everything's going to fall apart. Amongst a pile of adults who are all making choices every single moment. Or maybe you feel you have to keep the peace in your intimate relationship. And even though you are upset and angry, you don't want the other person to be upset and angry. So you walk away and you stay quiet and you pretend everything's okay because you must keep the peace. No one else can be upset. If you resonate, relate, identify with any of these contracts, I highly recommend sitting down and writing them out. Pick a person, an organization, a family unit, and write out what is the unwritten promise. That I promise that I will always keep the peace, even if I'm upset and things are not okay. Maybe I promise to always be here for you, no matter how you treat me. I promise to always try until I have no energy left. And again, I don't think these are good contracts, but it's important to actually write them out so then we can rewrite them and say, if you ask for help and I feel called to help you, then I will help you. Your contract could be that my first priority is listening within and caring for self. And when I can, I will help you if I feel called or whatever. So I recommend writing separate contracts out, one for each person group, family, workplace, and write out the unspoken contract. What is it? And then rewrite it. Maybe cross it out, burn the other one, whatever. Then rewrite your true contract, the contract that honors who you are, honors the fact that your life force is for you. It's meant to nourish you and inspire you and let you grow and journey along your spiritual path. And if others join you along the way, wonderful. But to deeply know that all of this beautiful energy, this is meant to nourish you so that you can be big and strong and happy and peaceful and continue expanding in your wonderful life.